All good.
All right. So this is Roses Are Red session 67.5.
Yay.
Yeah, I agree with that numeral system.
Dakuda, Mirok, and Largo are in the ruins of Yalagare doing a scouting mission so that they can decide whether or not there's anything in the ruins that is worthwhile, dangerous, valuable, or what have you, and have that information for the rest of the group once the entire team is convened again. And we left off as you guys had just moved back into this area here using the teleport circle that is convenient. And this seemed to be an area mostly filled with what were probably once well-appointed, high station sort of military buildings. You are getting a sensation or feeling that in the past this might have been the city's sort of Pentagon, where all of the high-ranking military officials would gather and share information, plan what was to come next. In searching around this area, Dakuda did discover a faint magical aura buried under a pile of what used to be a roof.
And we were saying we're going to avoid it, but it sounds like we've changed our plans. We want to check it out first.
Yeah, just because we don't want to run through each part of this again. And yeah.
Okay.
Because originally what I assumed was going to happen was I was going to be by myself. So my original idea was fly invisible, make a map. And if I see anything, I'll just note it. And then when everybody's back, we could go through. That was my original mindset. But I mean, if we got three of us, like I was worried about making noise, but I mean, we could cast silence on it, or you
how
could.
Deep is how deep is it?
He just said it was a pile of rubble, I think. So you could actually stone shape it open or something, or Largo could cast silence.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, is it like a 3-foot pile of rubble, or is it like a 15-foot tall pile of rubble?
Well, you have detect magic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, him.
So I mean, you can kind of look for yourself if you like.
Wait, do I?
And that would probably make more sense for you to try to find it yourself.
Detect magic it's not a skill, is it?
It's a 0-level spell.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Let me just make absolutely sure. Yep, okay. Yeah, I detect magic. I look at where Dakuda pointed out.
Yeah, okay. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
And go ahead and add your stone cunning to that.
There's a +2, I believe.
Yeah.
15 total?
15.
Oh, wait, sorry, hold on. I didn't add my intelligence modifier, which is much higher now. 18.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you suss out the magic aura, and then you kind of move to either side to triangulate. You think you have a pretty good idea that it is about 2 feet into this pile of garbage, some of which is stone, some of which is rotted wood, and maybe some other organic material. But I mean, with stone shape, you could, make the stone do the work for you, essentially.
Yeah. I would like to do that. I'm gonna stone shape a little tunnel right into where I perceive it to be.
Okay. I don't think there's a skill check necessary for this. You do so, and at the end of this tunnel, you can see a smattering of different bones and what appears to be a thick leather strap that has not deteriorated.
I reach in and pull the strap.
Okay. Unfortunately, your dwarven arms are not long enough to reach all the way down there.
Damn it! I look over at the tall, lanky teenage half elf.
Let me give it a try.
Yeah. I was thinking, he's going to try to reach in there. A dwarven arm is probably about a foot and a half, maybe a foot.
And like plus plate mail, so like I'm not like getting it all the way in,
Yeah, I'll reach in there.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so you reach in, you pull out this, you grab a hold of this piece of leather, and it comes out like a couple of some of the bones that were laying on top of it come out as you pull it out of the hole. Mirok, give me a heal check.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask for. Uh, 44.
It's a good bit of bone that was in there, and you recognize that these are all like finger and hand bones. There's at least one half-orcish hand in here and 2 to 3 orc hands in here.
Okay.
Interesting.
But Dakuda, now that you have the leather out, you can tell it is a belt.
Okay, I'd like to do a spellcraft check, I guess.
Okay.
Or is it spellcraft or?
Yeah.
Rolled a 15, so 37.
Nice.
37. Okay. Pleasantly surprised. This appears to be a belt of physical perfection +2. So +2 to strength, dex, and constitution.
Wow.
That's a good one.
Just so you know, I've been trying to find a belt of Constitution. So if somebody else wants this and wants to give me a Constitution belt, I'm mainly interested in Constitution.
I definitely did just look at my belt, which has a +2 to dex and con, but not strength, which is one of my shitty stats. So filing that away in the back of my head.
Yeah, Dakuda, you're the only one that's got a belt that's only +2. Everybody else either has a +2 to 2 different things or a +4 to something.
Oh yeah, I've got a +2 dex.
Yeah.
So you got a +2 dex con?
Yeah, we can sit on it. We can think on it. But I am intrigued by it.
Okay. I'm thinking you get this belt, I get your belt, and we say, hey, look at what we found. And they're like, oh, that looks like Dakuda's belt.
And then they say, oh, that just looks like finger bones. And we're like, yep, just finger bones.
Nothing to see here.
Okay, cool. For Largo turning us into kobolds, how long would that last?
Largo turning you into kobolds.
And if he does, I would suggest that he garbs us like the more elite kobolds, possibly. Somebody not to be messed with by the
yeah, because you're taller, you could be like one of the bigger, stronger ones that we saw.
I mean more like the mage types. It would make sense then that we're casting stuff.
If I use that spell, it wouldn't last too long. Only a meager 12 hours.
I look at Largo and I look at the kid. I'm like,
Yeah.
you want to do this right? Let's do that.
Okay. Cool. So Largo casts a spell, and he can only make Dakuta seem about a foot shorter.
Yeah.
So the illusion's really good for him. It's really good for Mirok. Dakuta looks like a very large kobold, but
Okay, maybe I should be the big buffy one.
yeah, and he makes Dakuta look like one of the monkish kobolds that you guys fought from the last time. He tries to make Mirok look like the cleric kobold from the previous fight, and he looks like a standard kobold that is exceptionally well dressed in fine leather gear for some reason.
Yeah, because he would refuse to skimp on that.
There is a unusually pink skin race designed hat at the top of his head. I know Largo would take his fashion seriously, even if he's.
That's true. He can speak Draconic too, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think he can. But
Really?
that's fine. He's the little one. We'll smack him around if he tries to talk.
Oh, that's a good idea.
But
He's going to try and talk.
Yeah. So have we explored this whole area? I think we kind of did that last
I think
session.
this is So we're trying to be quiet, nonchalant, mainly drawing it out, and then if we spot any auras, investigating, which I guess is pretty obvious.
Okay. So that is okay. And so I will say there are 7 separate buildings in this area. You've done a cursory scan of all of them. This is the only magic item that you noticed in your survey. There is an exit to the northwest. There's an exit to the east that goes back to the flesh column area that you were in before. And the exit that goes into the dragon's lair is stone walled off.
Do we feel fairly certain that the other areas that are marked on this map we have checked pretty thoroughly, or was there some of them that we only kind of skimmed? Like the one on the outside.
This one,
that one.
Through. This is actually part of an area. And
okay, maybe that's
from this door up.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking. Was the other one.
You basically walk through here and you cross, so you don't really know what else is maybe in here.
Was that the snake area? Is that where I got swallowed?
This was the snake area.
Okay. All right. I don't know do we want to go inside out, outside in? Does it matter?
I'm inclined to go to the most newest places, so the places that are not drawn, and then as we're kind of circling our way back, I think inner circle clockwise, outer circle clockwise.
Perfect. That's what we'll do.
Okay.
So that'll be the top leftish.
Okay.
Exit.
Yeah, northwest, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you get to that edge, and there are doors here.
Yeah, we don't have a way to Do I have it? I don't think I
Oh,
have
you're
any
talk-
tech traps.
Oh yeah, trap finding. Huh. Uh-huh.
I could still, let's see. Mage hand, that won't open doors, right? If it's unlocked.
No.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think our options are. I mean, can you use knock? I know that
Yeah.
we established that's loud, and we don't want to be loud.
Actually, uh, Largo says he can handle this.
Sweet.
Fourth level spell. Right. And he begins casting a spell, and a gorilla appears beside him. And he says, "Open that door."
Oh God, yeah, he could do that.
How long does this last?
About a minute.
Okay.
Long enough for that gorilla to take a shit ton of damage.
And the
So we
gorilla,
move out of the way.
yeah, the gorilla walks over to the door and pushes it open, and then looks back at Largo.
Have him walk through the door.
Walk through the door. The gorilla goes into the room.
Okay.
You can see in there it's dark, so it does not appear to be an open space. It does not appear to. It appears to have a roof or a covering or something. It is dark inside.
I will cast light on a rock and throw it in there, and then peep in and see what we see.
Okay.
I'll go in first.
Actually,
after
oh yeah,
do
you
that.
can see, can't you?
Yeah, but I mean that's fine for you.
I mean, I could hold on to that. You could check it out because does that screw up your vision?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I was saying I'll go first because I have the most hit points out of those three of us. So
True.
I can absorb a surprise.
Okay. I'm sorry. No, there's not a roof in there. I was getting ahead of myself. But yeah, no. Through there, you can see some stately houses that have what appears to be gardens surrounding them. These houses seem to be in rather poor repair, though. It looks like they might actually have been made out of wood or ornamented or something, and have not stood the test of time, much like the rest of the rooms. So the bones of these places are still standing, but there's a good bit of decay on the two sort of estate manors that are within eyesight of this passage.
Okay, cool.
Well, even though I'm a kobold monk, I'm still flying around a little bit above these two. I don't want to go too far away, but
Why are
I
you
guess we're
flying?
going in. Because I just always fly.
Mirak's gonna encourage you not to fly because it kind of defeats the purpose of our disguise.
Right. And I'll come down when you say that. I might accident. I cast it early on. I'm always flying.
Yeah, Mirak would tell it to you. He would say,
Hey.
"It's that." He would say, "It's a hat. It's a hat on a hat."
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone, give me stealth checks and perception checks.
Okay. stealth and perception. Nice, good rolls. Dex modifier, which is nothing. 15 for stealth for me, and the second one was what? Perception. Okay. Perception. Modifier, it's just wisdom. 18 perception for me.
Okay.
I rolled 19 on stealth, so I got a 23 stealth
Nice.
and 27 perception.
Okay. All right. So Largo basically walks in and right up to his gorilla and like pats the gorilla and just is not being stealthy at all with his 1 stealth.
Cool.
He rolled a 2, -1. Actually, he's small, so like, yeah, it's
Still.
abysmal. But he, like, stealth is not a concern of his. He is relying 100% on his magnificent illusions, and he is also terribly oblivious with his 5 perception.
Okay, cool.
But the rest of you, or the 2 of you, sort of walk around and manage to scout out the rest of the area. And there is another door on the north end. But something that catches both of your eyes is there is a large, what appears to be temple. That is still intact, made of stone, exceptionally ornately designed, and it does look like there is pieces of gold plating and filigree inlaid in the stone, but a lot of it has been pulled out, stripped out.
Yeah.
There's still like some little pieces of it, and you can tell that at some point this used to be heavily adorned with precious metals and possibly gemstones. But now there's just little pieces left that, you know.
In knowledge religion 27, what does Mirok make of this temple?
The temple seems to be a temple to both the gods Wixen and Golek. Wixen being the god of war and strategy, and Golek being the god of riot and bloodlust. Golek is generally the patron god of orcs, so you can see the reason for that there. But the Wixen side might lean more towards the half-orc contingent, and they do seem to. It does seem like their culture was heavily ordered and controlled, and had the military caste was the second highest caste. So
okay, cool. I'm gonna walk over to Largo and grab him by the cuff like a kobold would, because I'm annoyed at how unperceptive he is, and I'm gonna tell Dakuta about the temple and what it means.
Awesome. I'll be detecting magic.
Okay.
If between, sorry, I was gonna say to Mirok, between the both of us, if a specific place seems like it might have secret doors, speak up if you think it, and I can cast a spell, but I don't know if I want to do it for every room.
Okay.
The doors to the temple do appear to be magic. They are wooden, reinforced with polished bronze, which there's been nobody here to polish this, and it should be tarnished. It should have all fallen apart and rotted away a long, long time ago. But it does appear that the doors to the temple have been, enchanted with some sort of magic.
And after sitting there a sec, what school am I getting?
Abjuration.
So that's protection.
Yeah.
Is there any other entrances, like through the walls that are deteriorating?
Now the temple seems to be in pretty good repair. Overall, it's fixed stone structure. Let's see. Going around it. You do find a doorway in the back that looks like a servant's entrance, or like maybe a service entrance or something like that. And checking that out, it looks like the walls here have been stone shaped shut.
Oh. Well,
And the doors?
Seeing-
Mira asks you.
do I?
Are you afraid to open them?
Yeah, I explained what I'm seeing here. There's doors appear to be magic or magical, and some kind of protection on them.
Could the protection just be from aging and use?
Could be. Yeah, I mean, we could try just opening it. Is the gorilla still with us, or is he gone?
Oh, he lasted like 12 rounds. He's gone.
I'm willing to open it.
Okay. I stand to the side.
Okay. So you go up and you try to open the temple doors?
Yeah.
Okay. They will not open.
Okay. So I walk up and I push on them and they're not opening?
Yeah. You push on them, you pull on them.
Okay.
No. I mean, in Dakuta, you can kind of get that this is more of a lock than it's a magical lock as opposed to like a magical trap.
You want me to knock it?
I'd prefer not to. I don't want to make noise. The back door is stone shaped shut.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I could stone shape it back open.
I was thinking we could either do that or a silence spell and a knock.
That's a good call. Let me quickly look this over here. Sounds level 2 spell. Yeah. What level is knock for you?
First or second?
Okay, let's do that because silence is level 2 spell, so I got plenty of those I can use.
Yeah, it's 2.
Okay. I look at you
All right.
and I start to count down with my fingers.
Why? How long's your? Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I go 3, 1. I cast silence right after you cast your spell.
Right after, or right before?
Well, so like, wait, does yours have a visual thing, or I mean, like a
You
spoken
could
thing?
cast. You could cast yours, and I could step back and do it. I can do it from a distance.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, all right. So yeah, I'm by the door. I cast it in that little dome area, and then you cast yours. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So you cast knock, and Mirok standing next to the door, you can kind of feel the vibration, and then the door swings in like about a half a foot.
Okay. I give you a grieved thumbs up, and I start pushing the door open.
All right, with your dark vision inside, you can see that the temple seems to be more of a mausoleum. There are rows of sarcophagi on either side. Like from the entrance to the back wall is maybe 40 feet, and there's a large sort of engraven fresco of what's depicted as a half-orcish individual in like ornate armor, fighting a barbaric-looking orcish individual with a massive jagged sword.
Oh, cool.
Recognize this as like a depiction of Wixen in conflict with Golek.
That's really cool.
And inside, there's a sort of a grand hall thing that goes from the door that you entered to this altar fresco area. You can see that there might have been some sort of pews or seats or something that have decayed over time. And then on either side is sort of an open wing. And in those open wings, there's rows of sarcophagi in the open space. And then there also seem to be, what do you call them? Where
like the things are like like ashes, like it's like a little box in a wall.
Yeah. I'm sure that there's a term for that, but I'm not thinking of it.
Yeah, there is.
Rows of these graves along the wall with, some sort of descriptors or icons, markers for the dead. But the sarcophagi seem to be, more prominent, more, positions of honor. And the sarcophagi seem to still be ornately decorated, with precious metals and gemstones.
Haven't been able to get in here. I will detect magic while we're in here, just in general.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that as well.
Okay. You do not detect anything magic in here, aside from the doorway you came in.
Does detect magic go through the thickness of a sarcophagi?
Depends on how thick the sarcophagi is.
That's what I thought.
The sarcophagus.
I'm happy to go push one open.
I mean, I can't remember how much thickness I could look through.
I would say for stone, it's probably about 2 to 3 inches.
Right.
It's like any thickness of lead. It's like a foot of wood.
Yeah.
But for stone, it's in the realm of like inches, a couple of inches.
I would assume these are at least like the width of a standard brick.
Yeah, you're not detecting any magic through the sarcophagi.
Dan, do I see any like noticeable markings on the I guess the tombs that are so ornate, like sigils, imagery, iconography, anything like that?
There are there's iconography that some seemingly on the sarcophagi, all of it is depicted in relation to Wixen as far as religion goes.
Mm-hmm.
There are also some just general depictions of planers that would Legion Archons, things that would be in service to Wixen as a, as far as like his own version of angels and what have you.
And how many crypts or coffins, whatever the word would be, are there? The important
There
ones.
are 4 sarcophagi in each wing.
So 8 total.
8 total sarcophagi, and then as far as like on the walls and stuff, maybe 100 on each side. Looking at the iconography and everything, you do get the impression that the sarcophagus, there's some writing around the lids, which on the lids looks like there's a representation of the individual interred, and it appears that all of these are kings of Yalagair, past kings of particular note.
Ooh.
So not just all of the kings, but the special ones.
Yeah, there could be some really cool shit in here, Dakota.
Yeah. I'm wondering, between the both of us, can we tell if I shut the door if it'll lock, or if we can open it from the inside?
You get the impression that your knock spell has disabled the lock spell for a period of time. Let me see.
Always stone chip out the back door if we need to.
Yeah.
It suspends the enchantment for 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I want
I would say that 10 minutes has passed, and the door is ajar. If you close it,
that's fine. After we realize what it is, I'm like, we're going to just shut this right now. I think we're going to be investigating some of these.
Yeah, now the 3 weakest people in the group have to figure out if they can lift a stone lid off a coffin.
I can make another gorilla.
I have Nogs. I'm like, that might be a good idea.
Sure. Yeah, one gorilla could, in a short amount of time, just tell them take all the lids off.
Okay. He summons another gorilla. The gorilla goes over to. Are you going to the sarcophagi on the right or the left?
Let's start on the right. Mirok's right-handed. He's gonna be like tailing behind the gorilla and just like really being like careful. Careful.
Okay. So the gorilla and Largo's also trying to convey this information. And with his ridiculous charisma and an attempt at animal handling, he does kind of get the gorilla to be cautious and slow. So the gorilla starts pushing the lid aside from the sarcophagus on the first sarcophagus, and after he gets it like maybe a foot ajar, so it's not off of the top, the gorilla like kind of recoils a bit and staggers back and like snorts and grunts. And Mirok, you can see inside the sarcophagus is a well-preserved, mummified individual in ornate garb with significantly impressive ornamentation of jewelry, including a crown, necklaces, rings, what have you. Give me a knowledge religion check.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, I'm rolling, knock on wood, really good. It's 10, 26.
Okay. you are looking for, the burial ceremony sort of indicators about this. And as you are taking note of different things, particularly the way the body is preserved and presented here, you realize that this is a mummy, as in an undead mummy.
So this thing could sit up and start attacking us.
And you're kind of like, you're getting that impression of, oh shit, did I step on the landmine? If I move my foot, is it going to go off? Because there's something that's going to wake this thing up. You either already did it and it's about to wake up, or you haven't done it yet and you don't want to do it.
This might be something we could come back to with the rest of the party. Unless you got a plan.
I mean, can I roll to know what conditions would wake a mummy up? Or, I mean, the main things I want to do is open the lid, look inside, see like what regalia there is. I'm not Uhtred. I'm not really interested in for the monetary value. I'm more thinking the political value to Bort, and B, if there's a magical item. So I'm assuming, actually gut instinct, I'm assuming this thing will only wake up if we try to take something from it. That is my assumption. Brendan Fraser, the mummy, just like a classic mummy situation.
Curse.
Well, given that these mummies are interred in a place of honor and respect, they're probably not the type of mummy that is cursed and and buried to punish.
Yeah.
And since it's heavily ornamented, it would probably be a safe assumption that trying to take anything is what's going to fuck this up.
Yeah. I'm going to communicate that to Dakota and Largo. And I'm going to look at Dakota and say, I think you can detect for magic items. I just don't think we should take them unless we're ready for what comes next.
Right. Well, you look at me and my eyes are already glowing, huh?
Okay.
Do I know how powerful? I'm guessing mummies are actually pretty tough, but I can't remember. Or I'm wondering if I know.
It is it's a knowledge religion check to know about specific undead.
Hey, how strong are these things?
I mean, I could roll again. 19.
Well, it's hard to say, especially since these don't seem to be cursed. They seem to be, there's a good chance that they carry with them the knowledge of their life.
I think this is
you're not sure. Like, there's the bog standard mummy suite of power, but if these guys were also level 2 wizards on top of that, or they could be level 15 barbarians on top of that, or
yeah.
I think this would be a good thing to mark on a map and come back with our beefy brethren.
I mean, I think we look at them. I just don't think we touch anything unless we think we can get away with it.
Right. Yeah, I'll totally scan it.
Okay, so let's like keep the gorilla magic scan train rolling.
Okay. So you take a look in the first sarcophagus, and yeah, aside from and it's only because I know you are exceptionally perceptive, you can barely notice the faint aura of necromancy on the mummies, but you're not picking up any magic items.
Okay.
But these things are buried ridiculous amount of wealth.
Let's do you want to open another one? I mean, I think while we got the gorilla, we should just open.
Sure. Yeah, let's close that lid back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm inclined to do that as well.
All right. So I'll say that with the gorilla and this process that you're trying to do, you can maybe check one more sarcophagus before the gorilla disappears.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds good.
Because it's not it's not pushing this off in one round. It's carefully moving it so it's not like shoving the.
Yeah. Totally.
So you do get another one open.
You can still hear.
You take another peek, and it's much the same. The design of the garb is different. The shapes of the crowns and the jewelry and what have you are vary, but appears to be another mummy.
Okay. With a ton of wealth. Dan, do I get a sense of the regalia? Is this a mummy from later in the kingdom's history, earlier in the kingdom history?
You don't have a full concept of this kingdom's history, so.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, but do I get a sense of like some kings are buried, it's like, oh, this was a warrior king. This was like, a Marcus Aurelius kind of leader. This was, looking at them, do I get that sense of like maybe what their kind of is?
Unless it seems to be more of a style thing, just as one has an over the shoulder sort of toga sash kind of thing, where the other one is more of a robe kind of outfit. You're not seeing any armor. But give me perception checks, both of you guys.
I rolled 18, so it's kind of
Nice. It's a 14 for me.
Okay.
So 39.
All right. So Dakuta, when you're examining both of these, you do notice that there is a scimitar on the hips of both of them. They were buried with a weapon.
Okay.
I say to Largo and Mirak, I'm more for mapping this place out, and if we can find anything easy, picking it up, something like this. I think we maybe bring back our guys and move on. I don't think we should threaten getting in fights.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm also not sure how Mirak feels about looting the crypts of his enemies. I have to think about that as a player. Do you want to go out the back door or the front door? Okay. Dan, I go up to the back door, and you said it was stone-shaped closed.
The only thing, though, if we do stone-shape that, it'll be open, and the kobolds could come in here.
You can just stone-shape it back closed. All right, let's go out the front door. We'll do the same spell setup. Let's do silence and knock, and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, you take a cursory glance around. You don't see another door inside.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, let's go out the front door.
Which, I mean, Dakuta, you probably would want to check for secret doors.
That's why I was going to say, I was like, this might be that kind of situation we were talking
about.
about.
I just assume we don't see it because, like, a servant's door would probably be, like, tucked into an alcove.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. No, I was just sitting there thinking that when you said it, since.
Yeah,
now, I'm doing this for Scott's benefit because I know he always wants to look for secret doors.
I really do. I said that. So yeah, since we saw that other one, I'll go ahead and check. Level 1 spells, not a big loss.
Okay. Yeah, there is a secret door on the side of the altar, the dais, and it's basically it's not. It's just kind of like part of the design. So unless you know where it is, it wouldn't stand out, but it's there. It doesn't look to be. It looks to be more of done that way so as not to interrupt the theater of the presentation, as opposed to like someone trying to hide that it's there, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
So if we try it, it's stone shaped, so it's not moving, right?
Well, this seems to be maybe 30 or 40 feet from the stone-shaped place that you on the outside.
Well, let's check it out real quick.
Yeah, go take a look.
All right, you go take a look. Servant quarters, sleeping area, maybe something used to be a kitchen down here. Just looks like the people who took care of the temple. Priests, maybe just attendants or servants or whatever. But it's just like a series of 3 or 4 rooms in a row with, if there's anything that used to be in them, it has rotted away and decayed. There's like 7 or 8 inches of standing water in here.
Gross. Front door?
Yep.
Okay. That's good to know that's back there.
Okay. All right. So you guys silence, knock, leave, close the door behind you.
Yes. Yep. So this was like the only structure in this area, right?
There were other structures. They look to be, more like estates with gardens and maybe, maybe like another 6 buildings in here, but they did not survive the test of time.
Dakuda, do you want to go to the next door on the north?
Yeah, I would like to take just 1 second and take a really good look around to see if I see anybody looking at us.
Yeah, that's a good call.
My bad, I did not do this correctly.
Even God makes mistakes. Apparently. Bam.
Now I'll get it later.
I was thinking we could take some of those like orcish regalia and like whoever wins the battle for Lund, we can be the kingmakers with the actual kingly regalia from Yalagair.
Or we could sell it for money.
I mean, most of it, yes. But again, I really need to unpack how Mirak would feel about all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is another exit on the north end of this area. Otherwise, there does not seem to be any other ways in or out of here.
Looking at the map that we're sketching up, Sam, I'm not sure if this is to scale, but we might be getting close to the room where all the kobolds were before, just as a heads up.
That's a good guess.
Okay, well, so maybe we don't open the door with the gorilla this time.
Right.
Well, give me perception checks.
Oof. 12.
34.
Okay. This door does seem to, as far as Dakuta, it does seem to be locked and trapped in some way. You don't have the wherewithal to figure out how to undo it, but
This isn't open to the, it's not covered. So, I say this looks a little sketchy. It's locked, trapped. And I'm going to just float up slowly until just I'm like nosing over the top, seeing what I could see on the other side.
okay. On the other side, this one is roofed.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that the area we went into with the kobolds was probably roofed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are holes in the roof, but it is roofed.
I probably can't see. I'm going to go ahead and give a look.
Okay. I mean, there are multiple holes, so there is some light being cast down into this room, and it does look like, it kind of looks actually a lot like there are a lot of structures in here that seem to have been created recently, as in, more recently than thousands of years ago. And they seem to be made out of substances native to the area as far as the swamp goes.
Yeah.
The wooden structures, hide that's been turned into leather for canopies and what have you.
If we're planning on bringing the crew this to the thing anyway, this might be a good thing to skip over. What do you
And
think?
a lot of it has burned down.
Oh yeah. Wonder why.
Because we shot a bunch of fire in the hearth.
Walls of fire and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I think we backtrack then. We leave this be for right now.
Yeah.
If our goal is to map this area out so next session everyone else can just kind of roll through it.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You spend enough time up there checking it out that you do sort of get the layout of it.
Cool.
So let's backtrack to the flesh golem area, I guess. It looks like there is a door in the room to the south of it we haven't gone through.
No, you pass through the two rooms in the flesh golem area.
Right. So I'm saying let's counterclockwise back to the flesh golem into the area with the trees and the test tubes. It looks like
Okay.
there's one door there that we haven't gone through.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Okay. So you head back in that direction. Okay.
I like that the casters are like just running away from any possible conflict and like we're just here for magic items.
I think you and Mirok and Takuda are probably the most interested in the overall.
Oh, yeah.
ruins in general.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I want to destroy all of this.
Okay,
thinking
any perception checks?
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
Mm,
That's still. So what is that? -10. So I've got 11.
So we'll go ahead and say for this one,
13.
Largo created another gorilla. And upon opening this door, that gorilla did take some skewering, but he did open the door. So the door was trapped, and it wasn't enough to kill the gorilla.
Okay. I feel a little bit sad, and I go over and I cast Cure Light Wounds on the gorilla. Feel bad for this poor guy. Just keeps popping into existence.
As opposed to Largo, who would send a herd of
Mammoths and horses.
mammoths and horse into.
Give me a will save.
You want me to give you a will save? Yeah. All right. Oh, it's really bad. I rolled 2.
Okay.
So it's 15 total.
Okay, so yeah, no. You're like, oh, poor gorilla. You know, heal it up a little bit, and Lardo comes in like,
It's not a real gorilla. It's an illusion.
My character has still never been clear on that, because whenever I've asked Trevor stuff, he's just like, yeah, they're alive, but they're from somewhere else. I'm like, but they still feel pain then, right?
well, he's got summon monster 6, which
Yeah.
is a summon. He's summoning something from another plane and manifesting it. This he used shadow conjuration to create an illusion of summoning a monster.
Okay.
So in this case,
All right.
no, it's a figment. It's a not real.
He tells me that, and I go, I know. I know. What do I see in this room?
In this area, it appears to be some sort of packed-in housing, tenement buildings. Not the high value, not the ostentatious or good neighborhood stuff, but like these 5-6 story tenement buildings that are kind of built into the walls and
Ghettos.
yeah.
Kowloon Walled City.
But I mean, maybe you get a little bit of that from this. But also, with that being the case, like all of the floors have collapsed, and you're just seeing like the stone form of the shells of the buildings. But everything inside is rotted away and fallen apart. And there's no magic items here that you see.
Okay. I walk through a little bit hastily because I'm slightly embarrassed about the gorilla situation, and I go to the other side of the area where the other door is.
Okay.
Yeah, I wait for Takuda over there.
Yeah, I'm just kind of scanning back and forth with glowing eyes on my way to follow him.
Okay. All right. You guys head to the next area. This door is busted and kind of like hanging off. Like one side is busted and kind of like off kilter, and then the other one's just laying flat.
Mm. Which way are the doors busted in?
Outwards towards where you're coming from.
So something was trying to leave the room the area we're coming into to get into the tenements behind us.
Possibly.
Yeah, or just they fell. Okay, cool. What do we see in this area?
Okay, give me perception checks.
Yeah.
More better. Not a lot.
God. Yeah, I wasted all my good rolls at the beginning.
25.
Not 25.
Okay, so you guys go in and start scanning around, and Largo grabs both of you and it kind of grabs again because he's missing because you guys look like kobolds. You're not exactly where you are. Actually, his hand slams against your armor. Hurts his fingers, but then he and then for Dakuda, it's more like he's reaching for something that's not quite there because he's got to reach higher because it looks like your hand's lower than it is. And he goes, "Do you see that, guys?" He rolled a natural 20.
Good for him. Someone's got to carry the team. No.
I look to see where he's looking.
Okay.
If I can.
He says, "Oh, you walk behind the building over there. But I swear I saw a minotaur."
Oh, fuck a duck.
And I know this to be bad. Like we're talking.
I mean, I feel like the concept of a minotaur, bull-headed humanoid, is fairly common. As far as what that means, that would be I believe that would be an Arcana check.
I do not have that. Yeah, I'm just asking because, in some fiction, most fiction minotaurs are bad things, but in other fiction, they're totally benign.
30.
Okay. So they are magical creatures. They're intelligent. They are often either protectors or jealous defenders of their realm, and their realms tend to be labyrinths.
Does this look like a labyrinth? Is it?
Look at the map.
Okay, the whole thing, huh?
I think all of Yalagare is kind of a labyrinth.
So we're whispering. Is this a stopping point for us or not? I mean, not for the game. I just mean progression through this.
Should we move away?
Right.
Well, I will also say for your knowledge check, generally speaking, minotaurs are well within your capacity to deal with.
Okay.
Generally speaking.
Would I know something like an alignment of them? If they're going to attack just no matter what, or that's what I'm thinking, or if, I don't know.
They do have a mind of their own. They are not planar beings. There's some belief that they might be a race cursed by the gods or created by mages or something like that. But as far as like they're not a race that's necessarily destined to have a certain philosophy or mindset.
I think we should talk to him, man.
Yeah.
I think we shoot our shot with him, because what if he's chill and he wants to hang out in the Heartwood in 100 years?
Right. I would think, although go ahead.
It might not be great that we look like kobolds right now. So I think what we should do is we should call out to him, but in a super hey, you're in charge. We're just passing through. Oh, Minotaur, mighty dude.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that too, and I actually figured we would want Largo to do it. I just don't know if you wouldn't want to since he's not here, but it would make sense that we'd have Largo. Since he's seen it.
It would make no sense for you guys not to use Largo in this situation.
Yeah, I have decent charisma. I do not have bananas
charisma. It would make no sense that Largo doesn't immediately stride forward and begin calling out to the Minotaur when you suggest.
That's true. Yeah.
And he starts off with "Oh, great Minotaur of the labyrinth of Yalagair, please come and speak with us." And then he turns and looks at you guys and goes, "Oh, should I have said that in Draconic?"
I translate exactly what he said in Draconic, because I don't know if that's a good thing to have said in Draconic.
I don't. What do you say it in Common?
Yeah,
I think that's a good bet. Dan, do you need me to roll anything since I'm translating?
Sure. Give me a diplomacy check. I'll do a diplomacy check for Lord.
I got a natural 20.
Okay.
Whoop, whoop.
So, just out of curiosity, what's your total on that?
It's a 20. My diplomacy naturally is a 19, so I double that, so it's going to be 38.
No, you don't double it.
What do I double?
20 turns into a 30.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, then it'll be
49.
49. Okay. So yeah, you actually beat Largo on that diplomacy check. And you hear the sound of the hooves clumping in your direction, sort of slowly, steadily, and then around the corner of one of the buildings here, you see a Minotaur come out, 9 feet tall, massive bull head, holding a two-handed axe, and with a sort of runtish-looking kobold perched on his shoulder.
This might not be great. I see it. I immediately do a low bow. Continue.
The Minotaur kind of leans in and looks at the three of you and says, "We had an accord. What do you want?"
He's saying this in Draconic?
And he's saying it in common.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to make Dan talk to Dan. So Mirak, I think, would interject in common, and he would say, the dragon is dead. What is the accord that you have between the kobolds? I don't know if I want to give away we're not kobolds.
The kobold on his shoulder pipes up and is like, Where you learn slick skin language?"
I look at him, and in Draconic, I go, books. Can I roll an intimidate on that? Or a bluff?
Sure. Whatever.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I imagine I'm saying it like fuck off. Like, I'm not talking to you.
Okay.
I'm gonna say bluff, and I rolled a 16, and my bluff is 18, so that is gonna be 34.
Okay. So that's a bluff. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So he, the kobold on his shoulder, kind of like eyes you, does a little bit of back and forth, and like shifts his weight a little bit so he's closer to the Minotaur's head. The Minotaur looks at you guys and says, "The dragon is dead." Which dragon?
The black dragon of Yalagare.
Oh hell!
He said, "Which dragon?" That's some spooky shit.
All fucking hell!
I just want to know what this accord is. What is?
He's so interested in the politics.
I mean, I assume it's like, "Don't come in my fucking area" or something. But
Right.
Yeah. The Minotaur kind of looks at you guys, and then turns his head towards the kobold on his shoulder, and whispers, but not effectively. He's a very big guy with a very big voice.
Mhm.
He whispers loud enough that you guys can still hear him, though he may not realize that. It's like, how do members of your brood not know their own mother?
So connecting those dots as the player. Oh, because I didn't refer to her by her name.
What color is this kobold?
Black.
And is it have a garb that tells us if it's possibly a magic user or not?
It seems to be wearing like scraps, like a burlap sack with a rope tied around his waist. And he looks small and runty. And the Minotaur looks at you and says, "You haven't attacked me yet, so maybe you're not a threat, but you're lying."
I tell him our only goal is to pass to the other side and leave, but we do not wish to violate this accord. Could you make sure that we don't? What are the rules? We've never been this far from our kobold village.
The accord is that the brood of Kurosha Kanji does not interfere with Grant and Little, and Grant and Little won't interfere with the brood of Kurosha Kanji.
Of course.
Kurosha Kanji. And his name is Gronk, and Little is the kobold?
He said Grant and Little.
We are standing right inside that door, right?
You guys are a little ways in.
Is it the room you've already drawn, or are we past that? Are we in the next one?
You're like
right
here.
And what else is in here? Were there buildings, you say?
Yeah. These look like, nicer, upper middle class, given the range of things that you've seen so far. Like, you just came out of the slum servant area, most likely. and this looks like it is higher class. Not as nice as the estates with the, individual gardens that's near the temple, but this looks like it's the upper middle class area.
Scott, I think I'm gonna try to bluff the Minotaur. But what are your thoughts on that? Because he's called us on a lie, so I want to give him the wrong lie to believe.
Right. Dakuta's of the type that he actually almost just called us out, being like, "Yeah, we're not kobolds. We killed a dragon. What's up now?" But
yeah, but it seems like he has an agreement with her, and he's got a kobold little buddy. So I don't think he's neutral,
right. No, I don't think so either right now. But
I was thinking of just bluffing him and saying yeah, we're lying. We're actually here to gather magical items and knowledge of Hiroshi Kanji so that we can better serve our next dragon ruler. Because he said which dragon?
yeah, I've got a number of things going in my head, but I probably would just, since you're rolling, I would just let you keep rolling.
I mean, but you're the dragon expert. So if Dakuta wants to jump in.
Dakuta probably would not jump in unless there's something. Is there something I would know about this situation, dragon wise, that would change my mind? I'm not thinking so.
Well,
except that it sounds like there's 2 clans here with possibly 2 different dragons.
Well, he what you heard him whisper to the kobold on his shoulder is, why would somebody of your brood not know the name of their own mother? So it was more that you called it the dragon. None of the kobolds would call her the dragon.
Gotcha.
Not even in a venerable black dragon of Yalagair.
No, that, I mean, they would probably refer to her as the great Kurosha Kanji, as, there would be honorifics and,
Yeah. I'm referring to her in a way too distinct kind of way.
Yeah.
Okay. Mirak Kobold is going to say to Grant, again, he's low bowing. He says, "You're right, Grant. You've caught us in a lie. We're not looking just to pass through. We are looking to gather as much knowledge of our mother, the great Hiroshi Kanji, as we can. And I'm saying to serve her memory and to perpetuate our kind, but also I'm trying to make it really obvious that I want him to think, oh, these kobolds are just trying to become the most powerful kobolds in the group in this little power vacuum." Now roll a bluff check. Oh shit! Woo!
We all know what that kind of shit means.
Yeah, that's a natural one.
Okay.
So Grant and Little are both kind of staring you down. So that's what, a total of 9?
For my bluff, what is the natural one? It's a -10?
-10, yeah.
Yeah. So what am I? Yeah, it's a 9.
Yeah. He says, "If she is dead, I don't mind. If you are not going to attack, then we can let each other be.
Okay.
Grunk.
Do
What you-
kobolds sweat? Because I feel like I'm sweating right now.
What
Were you
do
gonna say,
you
Scott?
want? I say, Grunt, what do you want?
He kind of settles and kind of drops down to seated position, just a little bit more eye level with you guys,
Mm-hmm.
and says, "What do you have to offer?"
I'm like, I mean, more like out of life and
More
And,
metaphysical.
Largo says, he can make beer.
I look back and forth really quickly. Do you want beer, Grant? But what do you want after you drink the beer, Grant?
I live here.
Mm-hmm.
There are things that can make my existence a little bit more pleasurable. I'm amenable to that. Perhaps we can trade.
Okay. I hear that, and Dan, is there any like liquid around, running water? Just like a stream, a puddle?
There's puddles all over the place, yeah.
I look at Grant and I say, "What's the biggest cup you have?"
He kind of like fishes around and pulls a mug that maybe is about half the size of a pony keg.
Okay. I take it and I put myself, I like turn around it so like my body's in between it and him. And I create water and then I cast Tears to Wine and I make a mead because I'm just going on a wild assumption that Minotaurs like mead. And I turn around and I offer it to him.
He takes it and he smells it. And then, the kobold on his shoulder is getting like super like leaning up on the horn. And so he holds it up to the kobold and the kobold smells it and licks at it and, makes sort of purring, growling noise. And then Grant tries it and holds it up and like a little bit of a sharing thing going on. And then,
oh, these guys are cute.
yeah, Grant, it's like, it's been a long time since I had something that tasted like this.
I say, "Thank you, Grant. I can make much more of that for you. But take that one today and, don't mention that we were here to any of our brethren."
What do you want in exchange?
We're kind of new to the clan. Maybe you can fill us in so we don't get in trouble here crossing over the borders. Is this last room like a no man's land between the clans?
He he starts chuckling and he says, you don't sound at all like kobolds, right?
I mean,
It's because we're not.
yeah.
But let's just pretend we are for the moment.
Do we? Yeah, like he says that. Dan, does Largo dispel our illusions at that point? Because it's like he might.
Largo actually
I'm gonna play Largo extremely generously for him not wasting high level spells. He says, "No, we're under an illusion," and then he creates a silent image of Mirok, Largo, and Dakuda because that's a level 1 spell that he can blow. And he's like,
They actually look like that, but we're being sneaky.
Thank
I
you,
like it.
Largo. Yeah, I think that's cool.
And Grant says, "And I assume that you had something to do with the dragon being dead."
Well,
Got
yeah,
us.
dude.
The dragon was part of a group that attacked Senton, and we hunted it down and took care of that problem. We're just seeing if there are any other problems that we need to worry about.
He says, "No splinter off my horns. As I said, we had a accord not to interact. And I steered clear of the dragon, and the kobolds steered clear of me, and that was fine."
How much of this city do you claim?
I claim to live in all of it. There's areas I
Uh,
don't go into because the kobolds live in those. And they're not a fan of runts, but Little doesn't seem to be, she's good company.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been friends for a while. And what's left of this place is a interesting maze. I enjoy it here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No plans on destroying it over here.
Do you have a problem with us going through here and checking out the rest of the ruins?
I wander from area to area. It's my nature.
If we can make you more mead, could you maybe tell us about some things we should keep an eye out on, or maybe you could check out our map and see if there's any additions or things to look out for? Unless there's anything else you want.
He thinks about it for a little while and says, "If you intend to kill or destroy more of the creatures, the aggressive ones here, I welcome that. I saw the dead Dracodiles. Good job."
Pretty cool.
"Sure, show me your map."
Sweet.
It's you, Dakuda.
I show him the map and tell him we may be here off and on
For decades.
for decades, just checking things out. We would like to count you as an ally, and we could bring things to aid you, and maybe we could work together to make this a better living space. I look at Mirok just kind of out of side eye.
I'm like, it's like a confused nod, and you can tell like this is a variable I didn't anticipate, but like could be good.
This is a weird situation for us actually talking.
I do. I know. I had that same thought. I had that same thought when we were in the crypt. I was like, Uhtred would have grabbed the jewels. All the mummies would have popped. And here, I was like, someone would have stabbed him, like off the bat.
Yeah.
Casters are just like, we will say anything so you do not hurt us.
So he pulls out a skin and he unfurls it and he lays it down. And I don't know if you can tell, but he marked the areas that are where the kobolds are basically live, set up their location.
Awesome. I'm guessing he's not going to give that, so ask if I could scribble it.
No. You can have it.
Awesome.
I made it for little in case he gets lost, but he pretty much stays put.
Since you've wandered this whole area, is there any standout things besides the kobolds that we need to keep an eye out for? I'm thinking before we're all said and done, we could probably take care of them for you.
Damn it.
I say this will be a great benefit to us, and I would like to give you a gift, but I don't know what you might want or need besides the mead.
Well, let's see. There are some trolls living outside. Over here. And there's a ghost dragon that lives over here. Well, he doesn't live.
Ghost dragon.
Another victim of Karosha Kanji.
Wow.
What the fuck is a ghost dragon?
Do I know?
Well, you assume that it is a dead dragon who is now a ghost.
I mean, maybe it's like a good dragon that's a ghost.
Have you interacted with the ghost dragon, or do you steer clear of it?
He roared at me when I went in there, so I don't go in there anymore.
Fair enough.
And sorry, where is that, Dan? I didn't see a mark on the map.
That is.
Actually, I thought it. Okay. Oh yeah, I see. There.
It's like the Cobalt region. Okay. Well, with this information, do we want to like change up the way we're moving through this map? If we kind of know where there's enemies, or at least where he knows there's enemies.
This will be very helpful, Grunk. Is there anybody else we need to keep an eye out for?
Well, I saw the dead Dracodiles. Did you come into contact with the snake?
Yeah, he swallowed me.
All right. Did you
for a
come
little
in
while.
contact with the other snake?
I think we only had. We only saw the one snake. No,
Only
we
one.
only.
Well, there's two of those. What about the Durlagron?
The
That's
what?
that's the drowned things.
No, it's like a cat with 6 legs and tentacles that come off of its back.
Displacer beast.
No, we haven't.
Where does he hide out?
He hunts.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it sounds like there's like little areas where there's threats, but then there's also mobile threats that I'm sure Dan was
Right.
rolling against how loud we were being.
If the dragon's not here, I don't know what they're going to do. The dragon kept them from eating the kobolds and also forced them to guard the ruins.
Oh, that'd be awesome if they're all eating the kobolds.
So
Good to know.
without the dragon here, they might leave or they might attack the kobolds. Or I hope they leave, because if they run out of kobolds, I don't know how well I'll do against that snake.
Yeah. But we don't really want them to leave
I don't
because they're
know
either
how
going to go
well
to
I'll
center.
do against the Durlagron either.
Yeah. Yeah. Ideally, we should find and kill them.
We will try taking care of all of these.
I mean, if it was just a Durlagron or just a snake, I might have been able to handle it. But with the dragon stuff,
Yeah. Oh, we hear that, Grant. Do you have any more questions for him, Dakuta?
Just if there's anything he needs that we could bring him on one of my trips. If there anything else that might stand out that we might come across as we're trying to clear these ruins for him.
I haven't had goat in a long time.
Goat. He wants goat. Okay.
I write
Dan,
that down.
I got it. Grant wants goat. It's one of my favorite things to write. Dan, I do think Largo would probably, to a degree, evangelize Grant about the Heartwood. Be like, how would you feel if all this was forest and like a maze, a labyrinth, but of trees?
Well, we can get into that.
Yeah, I'm just letting you. I feel like he would like at some point in this interaction have been like, because he saw Rosie and was just
Sure.
like,
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and if Largo wants to, I'll tell Largo about the interaction. Well, I'll share the video of what we're doing right now, so the rest of the group can catch up if they want to, and anything that they want to add, or assume that you guys just explain your entire adventure to them, so they can make whatever comments. And none of them are going to watch this. None of them are actually going to watch it.
No, and that's why Mirak gives the sword of Uhtred's wife to Grant. No, not really.
But yeah, no, those are the things that Grunt is aware of as far as dangers for you guys.
Which is good.
I was just gonna say, I tell Grunt, we will be seeing you again, and hopefully next time we will have a goat. I occasionally go to cities if there's anything you need. You tell us, and we'll get it to you because we'd like to have an ally here of similar interests. I'm not really seeing any other
I
things I have on me I could give him.
as Dakota finishes saying that, I walk over to an open patch of ground, and I look at Grant and I say, "Do you mind if I put something here?" And if Grant acquiesces, I will do some spells.
Okay.
I am going to cast Wall of Stone, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to basically make a bright tank, just a big old empty cylinder with a little hole at the bottom. And I do that, and I wave Little over. Does he come over?
Like Grant comes over with him.
Okay, cool. I ask Little, can you put your finger in that little hole right there for me?
He looks at Grant for like reassurance, and Grant, gives him a nod. He climbs down Grant's arm and goes and sticks his finger in the hole.
And I ask Grant, I was like, Grant, can you lift me up to the top of this? Because it's pretty tall at this point.
Okay.
So Grant lifts me up, and then I create water.
He grabs you, and then like there's a clunk because he's
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and then he lifts you with one arm, and then he doesn't get you off the ground. He lifts you with both arms.
I smile a little bit because Mirak perceives his weight as like strength. So I'm at the top now. I create water, and I fill the whole thing up, and I create tears to wine, and I make basically just like I'll do the math and like text you later what it is, Dan. But I'm imagining it's like a 6 or 8 foot tall conical fermenter full of mead, and I climb back down onto Grant, and if he lifts me out of the ground, I look at Little and I say, "You're just gonna need a cork for that, and then you have enough to drink for a while."
Little looks up at Grant and just kind of
Have like a stick or something we could shove in there.
Yeah, rock.
Maybe
anything.
actually I might have a cork on me because I've got an alchemist kit. It's gonna look weird because I'm getting in there, but I could probably
Perfect.
pull something out like that.
Yeah. So yeah, you create. You find a cork, and he finishes his mug. Pulls out the cork, fills up his mug. Some splashes on the ground. Puts the cork back in, and
Grok's got a good day now.
if 2 houses down on the 2nd floor, there's something shiny.
Woo! All right, Grant. I say thank you, and I tell him. I point at myself and go, Mirak slate belt.
And he like this big, thick hand on your shoulder and goes, "Good to meet you."
Well struck.
I say Dakuda, I put out my hand and I like next time I will have a goat.
And he says, "I'm glad we have an accord."
Yeah, the Heartwood Accord.
So go check out the shiny thing.
Let's
I can
check
go
out
ahead
the
and
shiny
fly.
thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I can fly, so I fly because I've been really wanting to fly.
Yeah, I think now that like the jig is up with our costume, let's fly around. It's fine.
Well, the jig is up with Grant.
We don't want to his spell. I mean, it's not going to hurt to have it on.
Sure.
But you guys go down to a couple of houses. You take a look on the 2nd floor. You find the shiny thing, and it does detect as magic. So if Dakuda wants to,
I was kind of detecting the area around also, but for this specific item, excuse me, spellcraft 31.
okay. So it is it seems to be a brass icon on a chain worn as a necklace, and the icon, it has similar iconography as the rest of the, like some of the carvings and the walls in Yalagair. It appears to be something of almost not quite. It doesn't seem to specify a station or a position, but it seems to be something that represents the city. And when you spellcraft it, you find out that it is a amulet of cultural adaptation.
Nice.
So what it does is anyone who's wearing it adapts to the culture in which they're surrounded by. So it's, if you look it up, it's the spell cultural adaptation, but it's just constantly in effect while you're wearing the amulet. And so you get a +2 circumstance bonus on diplomacy checks, +2 circumstance bonus on disguise checks to pass yourself off as a local. And locals suffer or the DC of enchantment charm spells that you cast on locals is increased by 1. So it makes it so that your accent matches the local area. It makes you seem like you belong wherever you happen to be.
Mm-hmm.
And the amulet itself, you're assuming, or you're fairly certain, will take on a visual representation of something that would be appropriate to the local area wherever you happen to be.
That is cool.
I do ask Grunk one thing on the on the map. The largest, probably just about the largest area there in the center. I ask him, is the door to that in the next room?
The door to that is here.
Okay.
You're talking about this one, right?
Yep. Ask him what's in there.
Buildings.
All right. I guess I'm kind of scanning the area while we're in here, but I'm assuming this might be it.
Yeah. No, that was the only thing to find in here.
Okay. So I'm guessing we don't want to go through that door because that's where the kobolds are, correct? Or
Yeah, we don't want that.
I also tell Grunk, next time there is a chance when you see us again, there may be more of us, but we'll let them know about you. Just letting you know that there may be more when we come back to take care of the snake and I don't remember how you pronounce what I'm assuming is a displacer beast or some variation.
Durlagron.
Durlagron.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds a lot like dragon.
Yeah, it's just as I started to write it down,
Yeah.
Interesting. So yeah, it might be a variation. All right, so what you think?
I'm thinking, what are our goals as players right now? I'm trying to step out a little bit from the characters, right? It's like next session, are we wanting to start out with like, we fight mummies, we fight Durlagon, we fight kobolds and trolls and just like clear Yalagair and then go to Lun?
Yeah.
Or
I
do
don't
we
know.
want to take on some of these things ourselves as casters?
Well, it's about 10 o'clock now. I think we're aiming for this being about a 2-hour thing.
Yeah.
And you guys now do have a map of the whole place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That worked out
so-
very well.
You haven't, you haven't cleared it. You haven't found everything that there is to find.
We got
But
a lot of info.
yeah, you got a good bit of info. You got your first ally in the dungeon.
Not the first time this happened.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, dude, if it had not just been me and you and probably Trevor as well, like we definitely would have killed him and never gotten him out.
Yep. Yeah, there's a good chance that Uhtred would have just killed him.
Yeah, because he would have come in and we're like, "Where are these people?" And like 5 minutes into the interaction, Uhtred would have been like, "I'm Uhtred," and just fucking gone ham on him. And you're like, "Well, okay, I guess we all have to
Nice
kill him."
axe. You want to see mine?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we achieved our primary goal. Do you want to swap belts, Scott?
Sure.
You can take my belt of +2 Dex and Con, and I will take this belt of +2 Dex and Con and Strength.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So you're putting on the new belts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have a loose belt of +2 Dex now.
Well,
Oh no.
Uhtred did not roll high enough to recognize the curse on that belt.
Cool.
Really?
And Mirok, you feel like some changing in this in like the fit of your armor,
Oh, no.
and then your armor kind of adapts to the change, and you kind of look down and you stroke your beard for a second, and just your beard just comes out in clumps in your hand.
Ooh.
This is not good. Dan, can I? Yeah, keep going.
Okay. Well, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say I would probably panic cast Dispel Magic Greater or Break Enchantment or Remove Curse.
Okay. You panic and start to cast, and you realize that the tone of your voice has gone from a baritone to a tenor.
Yeah, okay.
What's he
And,
look like?
I look like a kobold.
Oh, that's true. Shit.
Yeah, and
Interesting.
after like kind of taking everything in and kind of what's the term for like a sense of self and proprioception. There's something more on your chest, and there's something less between your legs.
Yeah.
It is a belt of gender opposition.
Jesus Christ.
You're a woman now.
Mira.
Okay.
Mira.
Mira is my mother. You're not aware that you're just seeing like a kobold being like, what the fuck?
Yeah. You're seeing Kobold freak out, and you're hearing Mirok's voice change.
You okay?
I do that like that dude kind of like sniff nod like Dan, am I aware, like, can I fix this? Or is like, oh, do you want this cool belt? Well, you're gonna be a lady.
Well, it's not a belt of physical perception. perfection. It is a belt of gender opposition, so it does not have those bonuses. It only appears to have them. If you,
Oh, it doesn't. So
Oh.
it just fucks you.
yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna slide the belt off.
Okay.
What happens now?
It comes off, and I'll go ahead and say that are you going to try? Are you hiding this from the others, or are you going to share what has happened?
I mean, I'm definitely gonna tell Dakuda. I'm not gonna be like, "Hey, here's this belt. You can have it now." Like, I'm gonna be like, "So something happened."
So yeah, you guys, I'll kind of go over this real quick. Putting your heads together and trying break enchantment, trying the spell up does not work. You're the minimum for putting you back to where you should be, or your parts back where they should be, is limited wish.
God damn it!
Is
Fuck.
did the belt lose its
It doesn't have
ability?
any of those bonuses, like at all.
So now that you know what it is and you can carefully examine it, it will turn the next person that puts it on into the opposite gender, and it will continue to do so.
So, but I can't just put it back on.
It won't work on the same person twice.
Can we stagger it? Can I put it on someone else and then put it back on?
It won't work on the same person twice.
Uh-huh. But again, it doesn't have +2 to all these stats.
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna say Dakuda, I need my belt back.
I really like this. Oh, okay.
I take my belt back and I put it back on, and I take my belt and I just this other stupid belt and I just like put it in my bag. Well,
right.
well. What a journey Mirok's gonna go on.
Yeah. There was a really good chance that Dakuda would have rolled high enough to notice the curse, but he didn't. And I had no idea who was going to put the belt on. I know one of you was going to do it.
Mm-hmm. God, but it
I honestly thought it was more likely that Dakuda would, but since he had the lowest belt,
yeah, but then we start thinking, we're like, I get the little hand-me-down situation. Got greedy, got burned.
yeah.
So I need to use a diamond to fix this.
Yeah, it's
Limited wish is what, 7?
Level 7, yeah.
Maybe
Hey, Lauren.
geez. That's like the only person possible to maybe. I mean, is it all that bad? I mean, Largo, maybe drop your illusion. I want to check out his boobs.
Is it not that bad? Let me look at your boobs, bro.
Uh-huh.
I think you answered your own question, Dakuda.
Oh, yeah. Technically, I should have given you a fortitude save.
Ooh.
Can I have my fortitude save?
You can attempt one.
Okie dokie. It's a lot red on this one. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to roll my D20, hands off the clicker. 16 on the die, plus 11, 27.
God damn it.
Yes!
Oh.
I mean, I am mildly disappointed because that'd be a fun story arc for Mirok, but I will accept it despite the fortitude save if it's if it doesn't require a diamond to fix.
Okay.
Because we got plans for
You
our
just
diamonds.
want to. He's a little curious. He wants to explore this a little bit.
No, I just want to punk Uhtred really hard. It's just gonna be like, who's that hot brunette dwarven chick?
Yeah, I'm gonna say there's probably, you know, other ways. Like that would be the quick and dirty way to use limited wish, but
Yeah.
you know, there's always other ways. Mm-mm.
If you want to do it for the purpose of the story, I'm totally down with it. Like,
Let me
Mirak's
just-
gonna hate it, but that's okay. Could lead to some interesting character development.
Uh-huh. After a while, she may just decide she likes it like this.
She's got way too many father issues.
No, I mean you killed it on the fortitude save. Yeah. Yeah.
It's your call.
Yeah. Now you feel, you know, this intense internal uneasiness, and you can tell that the belt is doing something, you know, untoward, and
Mm-hmm.
you take it off, and yeah, no, you know, it's only fair. You
Okay.
definitely need to.
If he says that and is freaking out, I might recheck it, examine it with Identify Edition.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that you would.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can use this in the future. We can give it to someone to really fuck them
Bort.
over the way I panicked.
Bort.
Well, not someone in our party, dude. I mean, yes, it'd be hilarious, but
I mean, that's another. I was, you know, thinking that if Dakuta took it, Dakuta's fortitude save would not have been nearly as good.
yeah. What would it need to have been to fail it?
The DC on the save was 20.
Okay, yeah. So I would have had to roll like a 9 or lower.
Which, I mean, that's a 50-50 chance, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
But,
Yeah, we can just hold on to this and give it to like a noble who is from a family that practices like agnatic primogeniture. And then boom, that guy's disinherited.
Actually, you know a noble who is pretending to be a woman.
Oh yeah. It's House Masandwe, the princess of House Masandwe. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, not that.
Not
She-
pretending, it's it's just in their society. too.
Exactly how she is, but you know.
Oh, I see your point. This could be like a really like valuable token thing. If that's
I mean,
like their inclination.
imagine how much people would love to have it in this world.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
Yeah.
we could just keep it and use it for an expense. Sex change, okay. Come over, give us some
yeah, I
money.
mean House Masandwe is already likes us okay, so that could be good to keep in their back pocket. Talk to Largo about it.
Well, I mean, you don't know if they would want it.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I will. You know, just for fun, because you know I like having a reason for everything.
Yeah.
The ancient half orcs were using it on the female warriors to make sure that all of their soldiers didn't get pregnant when out on. So they were turning all the female warriors into male warriors just to make sure that everybody who was out on a war campaign was focused on one.
Huh.
My messed up mind definitely went a different direction when you started to say what it was using for, but
I'm just thinking like Jurassic Park and the bullfrogs. Like that's all I'm thinking about now. Is like dino DNA that the half orcs were fucking around with. Huh.
No, like yeah, they made a curse item intentionally so that they could manage their fighting force better.
Yeah, I mean, you could manage your population growth and everything with just one fucking belt in like an
Yes,
Excel
yeah.
spreadsheet.
No, I mean, most people do not want to be forcibly sex changed, so
Yeah, but you know, you have a society that's like super military. Like maybe they would. I don't know. Look at the hoplites.
I don't know what that means.
Soldiers for Sparta.
Ah,
They did a lot of weird shit with the young kids. Cool. This is a weird item that we could do weird shit with.
nice. We like having weird shit.
yeah, you guys lucked out.
Feel like that was like, I was gonna be up all night being like, all right, so how's Mirror gonna process this? Where's he gonna go? Because I thought my big question is like, how do I feel about looting half-orc graves? It's like, how do I feel about being an
Oh.
entirely different identity?